Hello, all you beautiful people. This is Intentional Healing, and I am Nicole Bridger. Today, I want to talk to you about overworking, about being a workaholic. I know I can definitely share a few stories about that, working myself to the bone. But before we begin, I just want you guys to take a deep breath and allow whatever is calling your attention today to just be there. And for this next little while, allow yourself to be here. So what comes up for you when I say overworking or workaholic? So I know when I had my own clothing company, before my son was born, I could work 12-hour days. I prided myself in how much I was working. It felt like I was doing the right thing. And in our culture, overworking has certainly been celebrated and revered. But then I also learned when I had my son and my responsibilities and my focus and really changed. My priorities shifted. I saw how much I could get done with the limited time that I had. And certainly my son came first. But I also, being a single mom, needed this business to work out in order to support us. So it was also important. But I used to work under so much stress. And I know that the times where I have been listening to that voice of, you're not good enough, or you need to work harder, or successful people work a lot, or it takes time to make money, or it has to be hard. All of these kinds of voices. When I was coming from that place, I could work and work and work and get the same thing done in like 10 hours, that when I let go and came from a place of trust and love, and that I am enough already, when I'm in that place, I can get that kind of work done in 30 minutes. It flows so beautifully. So my question right now is, why? Why are we working from this place of needing to work to the bone, make things difficult? And how do we shift to that place of flow and trust and getting even more accomplished with ease and grace? So to begin, I want you to ask yourself, what are the beliefs that you have around work? Could be that work needs to be hard, that it shouldn't be fun, that you have to work to make money, that you were brought up believing that hard work meant you were a good person. Particularly for men, our culture really teaches men that they're responsible for the welfare of their families, and it's up to them to carry all the responsibility on their shoulders, to be the providers. A good man works hard for his family. So I want you to take a minute, right now to think about and write down, if you can, if you're not driving right now, the beliefs that you're holding on to right now around work. What really shifted for me in my journey was when I finally realized that I had learned, from my father, that to work hard was to be a good person. And this isn't not true. It's just that then I was working trying to prove myself to be worthy of the love that I was seeking. So you see, when we're little, when we're kids, all we want is love. And for me, I saw that working hard, I received praise. And so I kept doing that, kept being the best, whether it was in school, in sports, and always in a way that was looking for the praise at the end, looking for the love. So here's the thing, because I've had so many clients when we have this conversation say, yeah, but I don't want to become a couch potato. I don't want to do nothing. And here's the thing, is that that's not what we're talking about. Because if you go and do nothing and become a couch potato, that's not honoring who you are. That's the opposite of what I'm talking about. That's going in denial, avoidance. That is another way that we cope and exist with uncomfortable feelings. What I'm talking about is, how do you truly be who you are without needing to prove yourself, and instead just show up, just be. So this might be something that you can get a grasp of conceptually. But what I want, and what really shifted for me, was when I truly embodied it. So when you begin to listen to this voice, for me, the voice was, really needing to prove myself, achieve the next thing. Then will it be enough? This kind of, never enough, constantly trying to prove. This is not my true self. This is coming from my mind self, my fear place, my fear that maybe I'm not enough just as I am. So I better keep working and working and working. And it's a little bit confusing, because often when we work hard, we are received praise, and that can be from others. It can also be in financial gain. When you seek the reward of financial gain, and it is rewarded by working and working and working, then we think that if we stop working, or we shift the way that we've always shown up, that somehow we won't have enough. And so you go back into fear. So it's the fear of not having enough that keeps you in this cycle of work, work, work. But the thing is that as long as you're coming from a place of fear, you are never going to get what it is that you desire, what you're seeking. Because I know that a lot of people, they work, 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 get lots of money, and then they tell me they're still not happy. And it's almost like we're confused, right? We're taught, work hard, get married, have kids, be happy. And then you work, 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 and then you're still not happy. And you feel like, what, do I just need to keep working harder? Like, when is it ever going to be enough? And that is when it so clicked for me. When I saw that I was just constantly trying to prove my worth, achieve, I asked myself, like, have you had enough? Are you done trying to prove yourself? Can we just live? And I finally surrendered. And for a lot of people, we're forced into that surrender. We work ourselves so hard that we get sick and we're forced to take a pause. We work so hard that our marriage falls apart, our family falls apart. And we justify it to ourselves that we had no other choice, that it's up to us to make the money, that how else could we show up in the world but to work hard, as we have been taught for generations. You see, belief systems are not just created with us. They come from our parents, from their parents, generations back. They come from society, the culture that you grew up in. So if you have reached a point where you are ready to let go of some of these beliefs that are keeping you locked into this place, here is the next step. When you actually take time to listen to what you're truly afraid of, deep inside, is it, if you aren't the one making the money, or you're not the one working, that somehow you'll be forgotten, that you need to be needed? Was it like me, that you were trying to prove your worth? When you listen to this voice and you take a minute to hear the fears and write them down, because when you actually see them written on a piece of paper, it makes it a lot easier to see how kind of silly they are. And when you've heard that voice, you take a minute and connect to your true self. You take a deep breath and slow down that sympathetic nervous system that's just in survival, just trying to keep you safe. You slow it down and remember that you are enough already. That you are incredible as you are. And that when you are aligned with your true self, the universe always supports. There is nothing to fear. Take another deep breath, because it can be really scary to let go of the way that we have shown up our entire lives, especially when it has served us so well. So in this space, if you are already enough, if all you need to do is just be, then what would it look like? And I know some of you have this voice that, is it actually even possible? Is it possible for me to just be and still work and still achieve? And it's incredible right now, because I am being gifted this sort of second evolution where I'm creating a new business, but from this place of ease and flow and grace. And I can tell you that when you're not swimming upstream, trying so hard to get somewhere, and you surrender and you flow with the stream, you go so much further and faster with such ease and a lot more fun than when you're working so hard going upstream. I think of that reference a lot. I can really tell when I'm nudging into that old mode of fear and proving myself. And I just take a deep breath and gently remind myself that I'm safe, that it's okay for me to just be. And then go about my day, achieving all the things that I still need to achieve, getting more done than I ever would with such flow, such ease. And it's like magic. When you slow down and listen and start to work from a place of ease and grace, it's incredible what starts opening up. And I'm not exhausted at the end of the day. I'm more present with my son when I'm at home. I enjoy our time together instead of just worrying. Worrying is another chronic thing that we do to kid ourselves that we are accomplishing when we're afraid that we're not accomplishing enough. So I hope this has been a little bit helpful for you if you are feeling tired of working so hard, and perhaps you have gotten sick and you're scared because you don't know how else to show up. And it's that simple. I wish you a blessed day. Take a deep breath. And remember, you are enough just as you are. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.